29 million. The number of American workers now not working. The number getting unemployment. The number who lost livelihoods largely because of the pandemic. Christian Peters of Hebron, Indiana, is one of 29 million.
I really enjoyed it. I was, really proud of it.
39-year-old Christian Peters, an American worker. Well, he was.
It was wrong, and I never thought that they would do that to me. And I just wanted people to know that.
Mr. Peters emailed me. I'm a disabled veteran of the Iraq War. My disabilities never affected my work, and I never complained. And he's not now. A third-class petty officer, he's soldiered his whole life. In Iraq, he was on the helicopter squadron. He served and came home.
I never thought of doing anything else besides working at the steel mills. It's kind of in my blood.
Like many in the region, his granddad, dad, young Christian seen here, the Peters do steel.
My family's worked in the steel mills without even a gap for generations.
He worked for ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel and mining company. Our cameras toured the plant in East Chicago back in 2017. Peters worked in nearby Burns Harbor. Worked. Past tense.
I'm just embarrassed,
Because they fired him. Or in their words, put him in the reduction in force program.
I just felt wronged and that I received kind of a bad deal.
Here's why.
I served in the United States Navy from 2002 to 2007.
And he has the paperwork and photos and awards to prove it. The service, the VA benefits from the service-related back injury, a bad back, add years of laboring in steel-toed boots.
Pain that would bring, that was bringing a grown man to tears.
So he scheduled surgery for August 27th.
So that when I did heal up, my quality of life would be a lot better.
Surgery, August 27th. At war with a bad back for more than a decade. He's now battling back. But it was before that surgery, just 3 weeks prior.
I received this odd phone call from a company that I wasn't familiar with.
It was an outplacement firm offering job search help.
I was really confused. I didn't know what was going on, and my stomach kind of sank.
He says the caller hung up. Peters texted his boss.
You guys are still going to need me, right? There's going to be a place for me. And he instantly responded, back, yes.
A yes, yet August 20th, a week before surgery, a FedEx delivery notification, and Peters texted the boss man again, who...
He never responded to me.
FedEx delivered word of ArcelorMittal's reduction in force program.
This was so crazy what was happening.
ArcelorMittal doesn't get a lot of good PR. In August of 2019, a toxic chemical spill killed thousands of fish in the Little Calumet River. In East Chicago this summer, an employee died in a work-related injury. There is risk, danger in being the blue-collar backbone of America.
I've always been proud to work there.
And they were proud to sell him.
They want people to know that they employ veterans.
Twice boasting about him on the company's website. 2018, Proud Papa gives students an inspirational lesson in steel making. That story featuring a photo of Mr. Peters and his son and the entire class. It ends with ArcelorMittal thanking Mr. Peters for inspiring the next generation of leaders in our industry. In 2019, saluting him for Veterans Day. ArcelorMittal. The middle is Lakshmi Mittal. According to Forbes, he's worth more than $9 billion.
Being responsible not only has benefits for society, it has clear benefits for the business.
He's lived here in London, bought it for 9 figures 15 years ago, with marble taken from the same quarry that supplied the Taj Mahal. It's known as the Taj Mittal, far from a garage in Hebron, Indiana, where Peters enjoys a pull off a stogie. His future is concrete as that puff in the wind. His wife, his rock, his walker, his sidekick now, his kids. Well, he didn't have the heart to tell them right away.
The decisions that some of these companies are making
Those decisions are felt by real men in USA t-shirts in Hebron, Indiana.
An ArcelorMittal spokesperson blames the job cuts last month in the pandemic. Workers like Peters are eligible for severance and health care benefits, but Mr. Peters has not yet taken it. For him, it's personal, and he says more about principle. So how many jobs did this steel giant slash? They wouldn't tell us, but through public documents, we know it was north of 1,000 in the Midwest alone.